Welcome to Engine Adventures. Today we've got the 2021 GMC Yukon Denali with the 6.2 liter V8. I'll throw the horsepower and torque up on the screen, but it's something like 420 and 460. I find this one to be possibly the most attractive of the new trio between the GM, Chevy and Cadillac. I think this one might be the best looking one, and especially in the Denali trim, it's very well equipped. I don't have the Monroney for this, so I can't give you the price. We'll see if we can find that before the end of the video. But overall, just a gorgeous vehicle, very well equipped, and one of the best driving and riding vehicles I've ever tested. So it does pass the fog light test. Right now I've got the headlights and the fog lights on, but know that you can drive with just the fog lights on and no headlights. It will do that just fine. So you can see there, headlights are off. It does have this little bracket that's on, but not a big deal. And then the fog lights are on, so it does pass the fog light test. As you can see, very nicely pointed. You can adjust your lumbar up and down along with in and out, which is always a good feature. This side to me is a little bit clustered. Let me turn off that. So there are a lot of switches over here. You got your trailer brake controller, the dim for the inside to dim the dash and stuff like that. Headlights, which this bottom button is your fog light switch. And we'll flip that to running lights. Right here's your suspension, so if you push this, I'm on the entry, there's the normal, and then the increased, and then you can even go up to the maximum ground clearance, and then you have to be in four-wheel drive low to be able to go to the maximum. And here's your four-wheel drive switches. It has four-wheel drive auto, 4 high, 4 low, and then two-wheel drive, of course. And then if you just turn this, you can get to the various drive modes, which are normal, sport, off-road, and tow haul. Up here, your lane keep assist, traction control, parking sensors, downhill assist, auto stop start, and your 110 volt power outlets. It does have the heads-up display, and this is your settings for that. Let me turn up the brightness all the way. And I think that is showing up. It's probably flashing a little bit. But you can adjust the height of it. You can change what's showing up there, so the off-road pages. Plenty of stuff there. Slide on in here. And why I like having all this over here is because it simplifies the center stack. So the center stack just looks so much cleaner. It's easier to use. Climate control, stereo, and you have the heated seats. This is the back and bottom, just the back, cooled seats, and you can't have heated and cooled on at the same time, or ventilated, which is fine. Your rear climate control, passenger side, it's all very clear, easy to use. If you want to close it up and have it look nice, you also have 12 volt and some USBs in the SD card slot there. Center armrest is not super deep, but if you go up here and push this button, I'm sure everyone has already seen this, that will slide back, and you have a little cubby there to hide some valuables, I guess. Downside is that only works when the vehicle's on. I do like the transmission controls, no shift stalk to get in the way. If you want to do manual, just go ahead and hit that. You have to be in drive and then hit there, plus or minus, to limit your top end. So say I set this to 4, it'll shift 1, 2, 3, 4 and stay there. This is a 10-speed automatic, so you do have up to 10 gears. Glove box there. And let me see if we can find the Monroney. And it does have one Monroney, so let's go over that real quick. Here we go. 2021 Yukon Denali 4-wheel drive. Onyx black exterior and jet black interior with a 6.2 liter and the 10-speed. So this one, the Denali package base price $71,400, and we have the Denali Ultimate package, which is a mere $11,255. That comes with this giant panoramic sunroof, The rear media system, which we'll get into that in a little bit. I was unable to get my phone to work with it for some reason, but adaptive cruise control, air ride suspension, the 22-inch rims, just all sorts of stuff. The rear camera mirror washer, enhanced cooling radiator, the trailering system that's upgraded, trailer brake controller. So tons of stuff in that $11,000 package. Then additional $350 for this power center console, and the Onyx Black interior is a little bit more as well. So very, very nicely equipped, but it comes at a price of $83,495. It does have this rear view mirror, so there, standard mirror, and then if you want a better view, there you go. And I do like this screen. It's not sticking up out or anything, and you can see the view over the hood. It's not too bad either. Let's go ahead and climb into the middle row, take a look around. All right, here in the middle row, you can see there's a car seat here with plenty of room. Sometimes that gets a little tight. Actually, on a lot of vehicles it does, but the seat is most of the way back. You can pull this handle and slide it forward or back if you need to, but there's a lot of space back here. And of course, you do have these entertainment screens. And another nice thing with that big sunroof, the second row feels very open. And this one is the 7-seat configuration, so there's nothing here in the middle. And the rear seat passengers do have heated seats. And here's your HDMI inputs for those screens, USB-Cs, 110 power outlet, might be 120, I'm not sure, or 115. Those are all kind of random, but in that range. And of course your climate control. Cup holders here, and there aren't any cup holders in the doors. This does also have the Bose sound system. And back here in the third row, I can fit in here even with these seats basically all the way back. I think it'll go back a hair further, but pretty much all the way back I fit here. So you can easily get 6 adults in this thing for longer travels. You also have USB-Cs on either side in the third row and a cup holder. So quite a bit of space back here. Quite nice, actually. So one thing I failed to mention are these steps here, which are powered, but this bar is also lit. And I'll put the picture up on the screen. So that lights up the ground at night when it's dark. But as you can see, their power fold out, then you close the door and they'll fold back in. All right, so now you can get a shot, or at least be able to see these external lights. And there you go, it's like an LED light strip that runs down the bottom of the steps. And then if you come around back here, in case you don't know what you're driving, it's a GMC. Moving around to the rear, of course, this one does have an optional diesel engine, so you have the extra fill cap there. That's just a blank. But if you had the diesel, that would be where you put your diesel exhaust fluid. So here, GM's been doing this for a while. Everyone with a hatch should be doing this, but you can pop this, push this button here underneath and open up the glass. So there are some vehicles where the glass doesn't open. Toyotas are nice, the glass drops down on the 4Runner and the Sequoia, but in a lot of other vehicles you can't do that, which means you can't just pile stuff in here because you have to close the lift gate, the whole thing at once. So the other one to open the whole rear door underneath there. And you can see there's not a lot of space here. This is the Yukon, not the Yukon XL. So the XL, you get an extra like almost 18 inches, I think, back here. Quite a bit more space. There are no additional side cargo spots on this particular one, but there is a tiny bit of storage under here along with your jack. And there's a tie down for some reason there, but your jack tools. And to access your spare tire, you have to pop out this plug on the back, and then those tools that are under there will reach in, and then you can lower your spare tire. All right, there's another outlet. Like I said, I don't know if it's 110, 115, or 120, but either way, another outlet there. And these are power folding seats on third row for both. Oh, the seat's too far back. Will it make it? Can't quite make it. So I had to slide the seat forward just a hair, but you can both power fold and power open them. The only thing is manual are those headrests. For the second row, you double tap this one and it just folds the seat for you. So now we can fold this one. So that's your loading space. I'm not sure if it's 4 feet wide. You should be able to get a sheet of plywood in there. I'll make sure and measure that and throw that up on the screen. If that's 4 feet wide or whatever, I'll put it up on the screen so you know. That way you can get 4x8 sheets in there. Close the rear hatch, just hit that button there. This one does have the tow package. It's hidden behind this cover. There's the 7-pin plug in there. All you have to do is turn these clips and then you can pop it out. I'm not gonna do that. It's a little bit of a pain sometimes. And then you do get the quad tip exhaust, stainless steel, looks great. Obviously it doesn't need that big of an exhaust, but it does look really good. Let's get a shot of the airbags in here. So the suspension on this, I don't know if you can see that. So it has these control arms and then like a small, I don't even know if that's an A-arm, but it's fairly small underneath there. I'm not sure. I think the tow rating on these is about 8,000 pounds, but there's the suspension. Again, that's an airbag. And then you also have the shock built in with that. And I believe these are the magnetic shocks or whatever. I've never been in an SUV that rides this good, so I imagine it has to have those magnetic shocks. I'll make sure on that as well. So I know it's getting dark, a little bit hard to see, but on high-speed dirt roads, this thing is pretty smooth, but you run out of suspension travel rather quickly. So as you guys know, I'm not my normal test tool. I'm not going to do the 20-mile-an-hour thing and see how it does, but keep in mind the air suspension on this thing and whatever else. Right now I'm going about 15 and that's about comfortable. Faster than that, this one runs out of suspension travel. This is in the normal mode. If you go to the either of the off-road or raised settings, it's just going to get stiffer and you'll lose your down travel. Makes the ride actually quite a bit worse. So 0 to 60, just flat foot. We're not brake torquing or anything. And 3, 2, 1, go. Not gonna make it 60 before I wanted. 60. So it's definitely jumpy at first. It really takes off at first, and as you get in towards the top end of the engine, it runs out of gas a little bit, it seems like. So excellent for towing. It's got a lot of low end torque, and that was in tow haul mode, which does make the throttle a little bit more aggressive, but ultimately it felt the same when I did these runs in normal versus sport versus whatever tow haul mode. It didn't seem to change it a ton. The throttle is a little more responsive, but when you're flooring it, it doesn't matter either way. We're only at about 1,800 feet elevation here instead of the usual like 4,500. So there's not nearly as much power loss with elevation compared to our normal test. Thanks for watching Engine Adventures review of this 2021 GMC Yukon Denali. It's a great vehicle overall. Really enjoyed driving it. Actually, it's been my favorite as far as road going ones go. I like, you know, the Armada a little bit more and Sequoia a little bit more for off-road, but for cruising on the highway, this one is definitely a really nice one. The torque keeps you from having to shift gears so much. It almost feels like a diesel. So it's pretty jumpy off the line, but as you get into the higher RPMs and stuff, it's not quite as fast. Doesn't feel like it, at least. And yeah, as far as cruising on the freeway and stuff, I was surprised the steepness of the hills we were climbing without it downshifting. And with that 10 speed, sometimes these things just want to be shifting gears all the time. But I didn't really notice that in this one. So I think it's really well tuned. And Chevy typically does a really good job with that. In the Ford, the Expedition, it was definitely faster than this, the twin turbo EcoBoost, but the transmission wasn't as well tuned. So I do really like GM's tuning on that. Anyway, if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it and give me a thumbs down, be sure to comment and let me know why. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.